Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, we're gonna be doing a couple of new things, more new makeup. I literally feel like my past couple of videos, besides the Fashion Week vlog, everything has been new makeup. I want to say though, for the rest of the year, I want to be cautious because I do get a lot of PR. A lot of my PR is still going to my old apartment. But because I have new subscribers. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Thank you for subscribing. I appreciate you being here. I really, really do. I'm really, really excited to grow my channel because I'm now settled back on the wave of everything being more consistent on my channel. So yeah, I'm glad that you're here. And if there's something on my channel that you haven't seen and you would like to see or learn, let me know. I'll be glad to get that out to you. I was going to say the new stuff that's coming out. There's certain things that only if I were just like, I already love the brand or I'm aligned with the brand, I would get if it makes sense to me in my collection. I'm not one of those people that's going to buy every single thing that's new that comes out. It's just certain brands that I probably even use only a little bit from their stuff. But if the new thing they came out with is not interesting to me or I don't find it intriguing at all, and I know if I buy it for the sake of just testing it on video, I'm never going to use it, that's a waste of money. And we're not about that on this channel. I love that people spend the money the way they want to, their money the way they want to. And I want you to enjoy the makeup and the products that you're buying. But don't just buy makeup for the sake of buying makeup. And that's why I'm here to tell you if something is worth your money or not. Because don't waste your money if it's not worth it. And I go by that too. And I'm obsessed and love makeup. But we don't need everything. With that being said, I have new stuff. So I have a couple of things here are Natasha Denona, the foundation and the palette. So I picked up the Sculpt texture and tone palette and I picked up Dramatic. I saw both. You know what's so crazy? I think Dramatic is the one people like the most because the Sephora I went to, this palette, the one I took and bought, was the last one left. The lighter tone, it was still like 6 on the shelf. And when she was looking for more of these, in case they had more, it was still in the drawer. So I think people were gravitating towards the Dramatic palette more. I feel like if I really enjoy this, I'll probably end up picking up the other one and put it in my kit. It just was, for me, too light for my skin complexion. But I haven't met Natasha Denona products that I didn't love. Let me tell you about the palette. So here it is a Sculpt texture and tone Dramatic palette. I just mentioned that. It builds on Natasha's innovative eye sculpting concept, first introduced with the mini eye sculpt palette. Inspired by the hy-glam concealer shade system, each vertical row highlights a unique undertone, warm, yellow, rosy, peach, and neutral and cool, ranging from fair to deep shades. Featuring silky matte, slip cream matte, and creamy, this font is so small, oh my god, and creamy matte formulas. The entire middle row showcases high shine, metallic, and sparkling foiled eyeshadows for simple and dramatic eye looks tailored to light to deep skin tones. And this is made in Italy, it says. This has, did I just say how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18 shades. I don't know if I just read that, but it has 18 shades. And I've opened this. Look, this is how... Look how dirty this palette is. Y'all can't even really see that. Look. When I was in store before I left, because that's how I found out that this was the only palette left, I was like, let me open this to make sure nobody swatched it. But it was fresh. It was just people in their dirty hands put it on the palette. I'm throwing this away, so I didn't care. I just wanted to make sure nobody dug their fingers or opened this. And it's fresh and beautiful, and this is what it looks like. Let me come closer. Y'all. We need to find a sweet spot. There we go. Look how stunning. I'm so excited. So So this reminds me, I would say, but more bold. It's not all matte. The all matte's from Makeup by Mario because it's by skin tone. And this is why I actually love that she has two palettes, because for that one palette, it can go from a range of people that are really, really like pale, white, light skin to tan. And I think this is like if you're tan to deep. I really love this. So that's what we're wearing today on our eyes. It does come with this. I'll say if you're new to makeup, or if you're just always maybe struggling with your eyeshadow placement and you want it to always be seamless, if you pick up this palette, I think this is one of the things here. There's like instructions and stuff like that. I think you should keep this. Every time you want to learn how to do something and blend it with different colors, I think if you're trying to practice your eyeshadow, keep this. And you can keep something like this for other palettes that you have. Just pick the colors that you want and follow the system. I think it'll be useful for people that are newer to eyeshadow and they just want to perfect it. And then we're going to go in with the foundation, and then the concealer's not new, but obviously we're going to use it together. And then I picked up this NARS Laguna 08. I've never seen 08 in store before. I've only seen 07, and it was, every time I swatched it, it just looked like a blush on me. So this may not necessarily be spanking new, but it's new to me. It's new to me because I've been on the hunt for bronzers. I just want to be a bronzer collector now. And so far, every single bronzer I have, I love so far. Picked up the new House Labs contour. I want y'all to see the shade. Look, yeah, I'm so excited. And this excites me because this is not the darkest shade. Because brands, I need y'all to get it together. Y'all be playing games. I'm loving that. The shade I picked up in the Natasha Denona, because once I tell y'all what this is, we're just going to get it right into it. I don't want to stop and tell you what I'm using when I'm using it. Just the shade I picked up is P11, and that looks like so. I like the shape of this. It's like the concealer. And then the next newest thing I picked up was this brow pen, micro stroke brow pen in the shade dark brown from Anastasia. I picked it up in comparison to my old one that I had from, who's this? Urban Decay. And my ink in here is done for. I initially wanted to pick up the brow pen from Anastasia when it first came out initially, but I didn't like how thick it was. It was like eyeliner, and I like that this is thinner. So, what else? The only other thing I picked this up from a pro store. I picked this up from Alcone, and it is the marble sealer. And this is a newer version of the marble setting spray. I picked up a smaller one because I wanted to see if I liked it. Yeah. And finally, I picked up my Dermacolor setting spray. This is the OG of whatever the new variation of the L'Oreal and the One Size. These are the OG. The Krylon one, there is, I'll get to the video. I'm sorry. I just want to show y'all stuff. So, first of all, I just want to say, if you are not a pro makeup artist, stop selling these out. I'm tired of y'all. You're not supposed to use this every day. You're not supposed to use this every day. You're not supposed to use this every day. But y'all are buying it, selling it out. If you're not like a performer and you be on the stage, you don't need this. If you're not a pro makeup artist, you don't need this. Every day, y'all selling it out. I went to go pick up the smaller version of this because this is too gigantic. Look, it's bigger than my head. People are selling this out. I went to go pick up the smaller one. She was like, oh, we've been sold out. And I know y'all are the culprit because that's what they said. But I picked up this version, my older version. Let me show you what it looked like. Hold on. Okay, so this is replacing this. So I picked that up because I'm like, I need new setting sprays for my kit. I just wanted to show y'all. But I wanted to try this, wear it for like a week before I put it in my kit. And that's what it looks like. Hopefully y'all can see that. So there was blue sealer, blue marble, green marble, and those are not setting sprays for everyday either. Like, just leave the pro stuff to the pros. Stop selling it out. Anyway, I've yapped enough. Let's get started because I know that's what y'all are here for. And you're like, girl, we don't care about this. I'm so sorry. But you know, my little makeup artistness be coming out, and I just wanted to show y'all. So, because I'm prepping to go to work, we're going to be doing, what do you call this? I'm going to do a first impression. However, we're going to be doing the same eye look because I'm going to work. I can't be having two different eye looks, and they're going to be like, ma'am, are you okay? You showed up to work on purpose like that? Is everything okay at home? I don't want nobody to say that to me. For the new subscribers, even my older subscribers, I always love when you guys talk to me in the comment section, chat with me. So just, you know, I don't bite. Talk to me nice. Yeah, because I'm like, are people shy? Because y'all are liking the video and you're watching it. Like, I just really, really, really want to thank all of you. Really, especially like my newer subscribers. I mean, thank everybody. But thank you guys. Like, my videos, for the past couple of videos, they've just been performing unusually well. I think also because I've been consistent, just putting the videos out. And I really appreciate you guys for that. You don't, like, it means more than you know. I want you to know that. So, these are the kind of palettes that are considered boring. Upon seeing it, people are always like, oh, that's boring. But boring is what sells, because this is what people are going to be wearing every single day. I don't want to make this smoky, and I know Natasha Denona, her stuff is pigmented. Okay. And as you know, if you're not new here, what I'm using, the shades I'm using will be annotated on the screen. You'll see exactly the shades that I'm picking up. I just want to, this is darker than I thought. But, oh, this is exactly what I expect. It's like when I use Natasha Denona, when I use Danessa, when I use Tom Ford, when I use Pat McGrath, I just never have issues. Even the same thing with, even though it's a quad, the same thing with my, what is going on with my camera today? With my Guerlain palette, it just, they just don't give me problems. They just work, you know? So I'm just blending because I think I want to use more than 2 colors or 3 colors. Because hopefully my next video, I want to get another look out for you guys from the Hung Van Gogh palette and from this palette. So you can see the other colors in the palette. Y'all, I don't know if it's me that's having a blurred vision. I think this contact I have in my eye is a little blurry. Because what's going on? Because I want to pick up something that's foiled, I'm going to spray. I don't want to get anything in my fingers, y'all. Because I just don't want nothing in my fingers, and I'm getting dressed now. I have makeup fingerprints on my clothes, and I'm going to work. I feel like these foiled shadows, if you don't, you can use your finger. Your finger will give you a beautiful payoff. But like I said, I don't want to use my finger right now. And I feel like if you don't saturate your brushes properly, you will get fallout. Oh, this is a cooler gold than I thought it would be. Interesting. Interesting. It looks warm in the palette here, but me picking it up and it being right here, this looks much cooler. On my monitor, y'all, I'm looking at it and it looks silver. This is definitely a cooler gold. Let me pick up P2. It's more of a pinker gold. We'll see. Because the gold I just used, it says it was a warm gold. It didn't give that. Oh. You know what it is? I feel like I'm used to Natasha Denona's golds being like gold. Like they're warm. And this is not giving me what I need. Like I like it, but I just assumed. That's my fault, I guess, for assuming. I'm going to go in with P3. Let's actually give it real warmth. Yeah, there we go. And then you can see my motion. I'm just tapping and stamping. Yeah, I definitely wish the golds in here were warmer. It's not. But my God, this blends like a dream. So that P3 was nice. So I think I'm going to put P3 all over the lid and go back in with the foiled gold shadows and place that over it again. Because I'm wanting something warm and that's not what I got. As you can see, I ended up going in with my finger. And then I want to pick up like a warmer. Let's do W3. Okay, so I like where that is. Remember, I'm going to work, so I'm not trying to go too crazy. But blending didn't give me an issue. You do see the fallout here. So there's that. I am going to use my micellar water to clear that out once I'm done. But I'm just going to do liner. No new liner, no new mascara. So we're just going to speed through that, okay? And the eyeliner glided on that with no problem. It didn't skip. It didn't give me any issue. It wasn't like dry going over the eyeshadow. So that's really, really good. I'm going to do the other eye because I'm doing the exact same thing. And then we're going to move on to complexion. Because I don't want to waste your time. Because, you know, in the beginning, I was yapping. Okay? I was yapping. Okay, so eyes are done. This is it looks really pretty to me in person. Hopefully you guys are seeing that. It just looks wet. The shades I picked up, you guys saw when I mixed it on this eye. That's what I thought the golds in the palette was gonna give me, but that's not what I got. I'm also used to using like what is it? The Sunset palette. And that palette, the golds in there are so warm and rich. That's what I was expecting. No one told me to expect that, but that's what I was expecting. Okay, so I'm just going to shake this up a little bit. I always like using, like, because I always mix either, like, my Genifique serum and or my, what is this called? The Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Hue Drops. In, what shade is this? Sun Glow, so this. But today I just I want to be able to wear this by itself and not have any disturbance. Although those are not disturbances, I just want to see how it would perform, you know, on its own by itself. And I'm gonna go in with my primer. This is the primer I use for everything, new, old, foundation. It doesn't matter. That's the primer I've been using ever since I received this the first time and I used it. I've not looked back. My other primers be looking at me like, what are we? Now I'll use certain primers if I'm just going out for like dinner and I don't need a primer that gives super longevity. But I'm gonna be out all day. Who knows when I'm gonna be back home? So like, what is going on with my camera? But yeah, I know I mentioned earlier, or I think I mentioned earlier, the shade I'm going to be wearing is P11. The shade before this, which if I bought this foundation online, is what I would have thought was my shade. It was so neutral. I was like, oh, the girlies that are neutral and olive would love that. But it was way too neutral. And even this, when I swatched it, it gave a little hint of redness, like warmth, but I actually didn't mind. I didn't mind it. So you can see it's a little more red, but it's okay. I don't mind that at all. You know, it's blending really nice. If you guys don't ever see me wear jewelry, it's because I always put makeup on my ears. I put my jewelry on after I'm done with my makeup. I just don't want makeup staining it. I will say one pump is probably all you need. I think trying to pump this out initially, because it's so new, I did two and it's too much. So go in with one or maybe 1 1/4 if you can. I don't know, there's something about this it feels like very gel like serum like. Is it just me? If you've already purchased this, let me know if you get that feeling, because that feels lovely. And it's not latching onto anything. I would say it's full coverage. I don't know if you guys see that unless I'm pointing it out. This is definitely full coverage because my birthmark is usually right here. Let me see if I stamp with a cover more. Just let me know. If I didn't point that out, would you have known that my birthmark was right there? Definitely full coverage. And I'm going over to see if me doing this is gonna disturb. And no, it's not. Perfect. I'm really happy with this. Okay, I'm going in with my concealer. The shade of my concealer is RN9. And you see how neutral this is? This was almost, let's say the shade I have on for my foundation now, the shade before this foundation, it gave this. But it was dark. It was just this neutral. Baby, I was like, oh no. Like it was obviously darker than this concealer shade, but it was, wow. I was like, this is the most olive neutral foundation I think I've ever seen, which is really good for people that struggle to find those kind of foundation shades. Oh, just wanted to mention that also, I'm guessing because it's in the same formula family, that concealer didn't give me an issue just now. And I suspect that this is going to blend seamlessly into each other. So that blended like a dream, like a dream. You guys can see where my under eye looks brighter, more neutral, but it blends well into the foundation. This just, yes, it looks so good. So I'm gonna go in with this new, the shade I have is the new House Labs Precision Sculpting Shaping Balm. Wow, okay. It's a contour stick. The shade I have is Dart, and I like how small this is. I think I'm actually gonna put this in my travel kit, because I have like 2 or 3 other ones that I love. I love the Dior one, I love the LYS one, and I think this is cute and small and compact enough to work. Ooh, that's dark. So this shows me, I don't know how fast this dries, so let me do this first before I play myself. And yes, I'm going back in with the brush that I used to blend out the edges of my concealer, and from my forehead and my chin as well. Oh my God, yes. Yeah, I'm gonna really love this for travel. And I don't know if I've explained it for my newer subscribers. If you haven't seen any of my other videos, just the recent ones, I like to contour. The way you see me draw my contour, I like to do it that way because I have a really round face. So I like to give myself the illusion of a more structured face. So that's why I'm contouring downwards. And I have really high cheekbones. If I try to contour up, it's going to look like I have cheek implants. And I've been accused of getting... Somebody was like, you need to chill out with the cheek filler. And this was before I even knew anything about fillers, like years ago. I was like, I'm just Nigerian. What are you talking about? And that blends really beautifully. Wow. Why did I go all the way over there? That blends beautifully. Now, I can't wait to try that stick. And it's giving me this really, really cool tone contour color that I love this. Wow. I really like that. Yeah, I really like that. I like it a lot. What I was going to say is now I can't wait to be able to use this contour stick with my other foundations, because I almost feel like because the foundation itself that we just tried is more, I don't know how to explain the texture. To me, it just seems like gel. You know, sometimes when you get like a, oh my God, like an essence, one of those essence that's like almost liquid jello. I don't know how to explain it, but and I'm saying this in the best possible way. I really love the way that feels. So I'm just gonna go back and marry the edges in case I missed any. And I don't mind if I don't take my powder all the way, because I think I'm going to use one of the brown shadows to smudge or smoke it out at the bottom. And now I'm using my Kosas powder, which I just really enjoy. So as you guys can see, the powder has not disrupted the foundation either. Let me sweep up the other, or sweep off the other under eye. I don't even have a blush in front of me. First, before I do that though, let's try out the bronzer. I don't have a bronzer brush over here. So I'm gonna try I'm gonna try to use this Dream Contour brush from Sigma. I hope I like this, because if not, I'm returning it. I'm just trying to see. Oh, I can see the warmth. And you know, bronzer is not even something I need. I just like the look of bronzer when I do it on my clients. And I was just like, I never cared for bronzers before because it was just hard for me to find any. So do you guys see how more neutral this side is? And then you can see the warmth here. Please tell me you see that and it's just not me, because I see it. I like it enough to keep it, but I want to see what this looks like outside in daylight. Oh, the sun is out. So we're gonna, y'all know I always do pictures outside in natural in natural light, so you can see what the makeup looks like in natural light, because we have a lot of, like, I mean, all of this is so you can see its true color, you know, of everything, but I still want y'all to see what everything looks like in natural light. After I really like this though. I like the warmth. Okay, going back in with the eyeshadow palette. I want to give myself a little smoke at the bottom. Now, I'm gonna probably have my eyes closed for this. I have contacts in. One, we don't have time for powder going in my eyes. Two, my eyes are sensitive, okay? Y'all see it? It's very subtle. Very subtle. Okay. Let's figure out the life of my blush. Let's figure out a blush. So far, so good for everything. Really like everything. Because y'all know, I think I've said this before in this channel, or maybe I've said this out loud somewhere, somehow. Brands are not going in the lab wasting their money to give shit product. I always try to let people see that perspective. They're trying to make money. The brands are trying to make money. They're trying to make money. So when they go in the lab, if things doesn't work out for you when it comes to makeup, one, I always say, is a user error, or maybe it's just not working for you. And that's okay. Don't let people try to convince you that something that's not working for you is a good product for you. Like, it could be a good product, it may just not be a good product for you. And sometimes it's user error. People don't use the product as intended, and then they complain, or they don't use it the way it says to use it, and then they complain. But most of the time, brands are not going out here. I'm using a NARS blush in Orgasm Rush. I'm just like, since we used the bronzer, might as well. I forget how much sheen this has. I wasn't ready for that. But yeah, just a lot of the times brands are not cooking in the lab. Quality control. All these people that they had to pay to make this happen to give you bad product. Usually just it's a product that didn't work for you, but it's probably going to work for somebody else. And or it is a shit product and they didn't care and they lost money. But intentionally wanting to lose money after you paid a lot of people to make this work, it's not. Because you wouldn't, if you had a company, you wouldn't do that. So, I don't know where my brain was going with that. I just wanted to mention. I need something matte initially. Well, I like it, but I want a matte blush, and I didn't. You know what? Let me go in with my is this in the same color family? Kind of, but not really. I'm gonna go in with, what color is this? Number 1 cream blush. This is a very pretty cream blush. This is from Clé de Peau, and it's very beautiful. Yeah, and then we could just dull it down with a matte after. Not dull it down, but like I just didn't want that much sheen. And I always do powder, cream powder. And this is gonna it's gonna give me what I need. I'm gonna go in with a powder blush on top of this because I just need that NARS. It would have been a topper for me. It was just give too much sheen. Oh, this blush I'm using is Nearly Wild from Sigma. So now, to make everything make sense, I'm gonna go in with my micro smooth powder from Sephora collection. I have like 3 of these in different shades for different purposes. So I'm just gonna press that in, give us a little more brightness, and then blur the lines of where the blush starts and the powder stops. See? It's different from here. Slightly different. And then once I'm done with all of this, I'm gonna go back in with my powder brush and a little powder and then marry everything together and set my face. Okay, now I want to see, even though my brows are nice and filled in. Oh, this has a spoolie too, I forgot. I want to see if this is going to give me it is. I can see it. I don't know. There's something about a brow pen like this that's just, it adds a little bit of finishing touch that I love. Like, look at that. And then let me fill it in so y'all can see what I mean. You see that? You see that? Anyway, that did exactly what I needed to do. Sometimes I go, when I go lighter with my brows and I want to give it like the fluffy look, I love using brow pens. The brow pencil that I used was this, and it's pretty dark and I like how dark it is and filled in today. This is the Dior Shiro waterproof powder eyebrow pencil, and I really love it's the closest, the way it feels is the closest to me to my favorite old, which they don't have anymore, or it doesn't feel the same anymore, the Burberry brow definer. Oh, it's just gone, and I don't know what Burberry is doing as far as makeup goes right now. They need to figure it out. Okay, anyway, I think I like my eyes. yeah, so let's wrap this up with lips and a setting spray so we can talk and we'll check back in, okay? Listen, if you ever want that dewy skin like look, this Dewy Mist from YSL eats down, okay? It looks like this. Oh, so good. So good. So good. And then, because I'm extra, hello, I'm going to go in with the Zero Marble Matte Sealer. I just really want to test this out for like a week. And if I really like it, I'm just going to buy the jumbo size and or the big size and sorry for this loud noise of my fan. I'm just going to get the bigger size. I see that. And put it in my kit. I always test things out before they ever make it to my kit because they need to be worthy. My clients need to get the best of the best. Okay? Okay? You know, I always have to do this because the lights, I feel like sometimes it hides what the look really looks like. I really enjoyed this face today. Really like it. The next thing you're probably going to see is just pictures of me outside. I have a very late start to my day. It is 11:36 a.m. And I'm about to, I shouldn't have put this gloss on because now I'm hungry. I need to eat before I leave the house. But did I tell y'all a couple of videos ago, these Rare Beauty glosses, I had to pick up this color because that pink one, I'm halfway through it. I love it. I love it. Look. Please. Anyway, this is the look of the day. You'll see me later on, you know, in the next clip when I'm checking in or whatever. Yeah. Hey guys, so finally back home and looking oilier than usual. But you know what the crazy thing is? The thing is, I got so much compliments on my makeup today. It's almost like your face looks matte, but not like super matte. And I think it's because I always get compliments on my makeup. Okay, when my face is beat, it's beat. But I think this is what gave it the not so matte look, because I always like a good flat matte beat on my face, and then I let like my blush and my highlighter, or sometimes my eyes do the wet looking or like glistening, you know, so there's both on my face. But a couple of people, they were like, oh my god, your makeup looks so good. But to me, I have makeup because it's only 9:30 on the dot. I have not had this makeup on that long. Usually I've had other kind of makeup on that I've worn for 12 hours and I still look matte. But a lot of people like complimented on how, like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I just think it was a different type of compliment because they know I usually love and wear a matte face, like matte, because I don't have time. But at this time of the day, usually my face is not this dewy, but I think it's because I used this today and I don't mind the look. But we can see everything still looks good on my skin. The blush didn't go anywhere. You can still see my blush. I don't know, what is it? I had a mascara flake. Oh, that's interesting. I did use a different mascara today. Usually I always use, they have the same brush head. That's probably why I liked it. So this is usually my mascara. And I use the Rose Ink. Is this called something? Oh my God, I can't see this. Whatever. But this is a Rose Ink mascara. It's the one that also has the curvature on that brush head. And there was a little flake, but look at my eyeshadow. Look how it creased. My eyeshadow usually don't crease with everything that I do. What's going on? I think it's also, I don't know what it is actually. I was gonna say I think maybe it's this. I don't know, because I see people do this and spray. I don't ever do that, and my eyeshadow is always fine. Because I've never had a Natasha Denona eyeshadow give me like crease like this, and I do have oily lids, so I don't know what it is today. But usually, I mean, I've always had oily lids, and I use the same primer that y'all saw me, the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer. It's the same one I've been using. I've been using it forever. I love it. So I'm going to use this palette for the rest of the week. Well, for the rest of the week where I have to go to work or go out, and I want to see how much I like it. Because if I'm still iffy, it's going back. We don't keep makeup we don't like. This foundation though, I really like it. Remember earlier when I was putting it on, I was talking about how I just love that it looks like, it just felt good to put on, and it felt great. So let's say you're out, you have on this foundation, and you're going somewhere after work and you want to touch up. And maybe you have your little powder. I can't even find my powder. But let me use this Amicole one. Because I know a lot of people after work, they go out, they go for happy hour, they do this, they do that. They just want to refresh their makeup. This is what I would do. So let's see how it performs. Well, not performs, but let's see how. That's good. So if you probably won't have stuff like this. I have a flat beauty sponge. I forget what it's called. But I always take that with me, or like a mattifier. And I would say having something like this, or even a cute small travel brush in your makeup pouch. Look at that. Look at the difference. Especially around my forehead and my nose area. Not here. Nose area right here. But you can still see how I'm looking at my monitor. That's why I'm looking down. But you can see how my blush is still there. Even the highlighter is still there. But it still looks like now you feel nice and refreshed. And I would say if you guys have one of those little travel size, listen, when you go out and you have a little makeup pouch or makeup bag, you know what I'm talking about. You will probably have little things to touch up with. And I know a couple of people actually that love taking travel size stuff and put it in their purse for like when they go out after work. Because a lot of the times my girlies that work in the corporate world, when they're done with work, they go have meetings, they go for happy hour, they just hang out with friends, you know, depending on how the day was. And sometimes the girls, they always be coming to the functions, okay, after work. So this looks like it'll hold up and it won't break down, because me doing that on top of it, adding more powder, it didn't give me any problems. Like stuff goes on it right, even if I go over my brows. Yeah. And if you do take stuff with you, you can just layer, like, what did I use? Let's say you wanted to go back in to layer your blush. You can do that. Yeah. So even wearing it for all these hours, when you go to touch it up, it does not move. Nothing separated. I'm just trying to see. Hopefully y'all can see that too. So everything else lays on top of this foundation really, really well. So verdict, we love the foundation. The eyeshadow palette, I feel 70 out of 100. And that's because, why is this creased? Why is this creased? The color earlier was like, because all the other colors I swatched after that, or that I use at the lower lash line, I really like. And I love the color story of this. We'll see. I'll report back sometime mid-October and let y'all know if the palette was kept or not. Yeah. But that is it for this video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you're still here, you're still watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to chit chat with me in the comment section, and you'll see me in the next one.